Hey, friend. Okay, can I be honest with you? There are weeks when I look at my content calendar and think, I really do not want to do this today. I'm feeling burnt out and overwhelmed with everything between my client work, my family life, managing my health, and everything else that comes from running your business. As a Christian woman, there are days when sitting down to write or recording feels like one more thing on my list. I'm guessing you understand this one for yourself. But here's the thing, when we avoid the very thing that helps us reach the people that God has placed in our path, we're not just hurting our business, we're actually limiting our impact that He wants us to make. That's why I want to talk to you today about a content creation day. So it's just a simple way to batch your content so you can stay consistent without the constant overwhelm. Why a content creation day works. Well, I was on a Zoom call with a client and she told me she knows that content matters for her business. She knows it drives traffic and builds trust, but she's been avoiding it because it feels exhausting. It's a constant hamster wheel. It's not just about the podcast, but it's about the bits and bobs that come after it, that after that podcast has gone live to actually promote the content. Can you relate to that? Now, this is important. Consistency doesn't come from working harder. It comes from having a plan you actually want to follow. And when you set aside one focused day to create your content, something shifts. You stop dreading it. You stop putting it off. You just do it. Now, I'm not going to lie and say it's always easy. Some days I feel the resistance. But when I remember that my content is how I serve the women God has called me to help, it really changes my perspective on it. Your content isn't just marketing, it can be the difference maker in the life of your follower. God uses us to go ahead of people for a reason, just like we follow others that God has placed in our path. So find your creative sweet spot before you block a full day of content creation. You need to know something about yourself. When do you have the most creative energy? For me, it's mid-morning after I've had my quiet time with God, my coffee, and a bit of movement. Yep, that's exactly when I'm recording. That's when I feel clear and ready to create content. Maybe yours is early morning before the house wakes up, or maybe it's afternoon when you've crossed a few things off your list and your brain finally settles down and is ready to be creative. Pay attention to your own rhythm. When does your mind feel sharp? When do your ideas come the easiest? When do your words flow? That's your sweet spot. Plan your content creation day around that time. I'd also like you to keep in mind you may be more creative at different times of the month. I'm pretty sure you are. Pay attention to the ebb and flow as well. You don't want to plan a content creation day retreat for yourself and it be in your low creative point of the month. Trust me, I speak from experience. And here's something I've learned the hard way. Don't skip the prep work. Block time before your creative day to plan what you're actually going to create. Let the idea simmer, get yourself mentally on board, have your list. Okay, prep that sets you up for the win. Now, there's no such thing as perfect, but there is such thing as prepared. For me, content creation goes so much smoother when I've done all of the prep work beforehand. Otherwise, I end up scrolling up Pinterest, looking at planner layouts I don't need, or getting distracted by cozy cardigans in the cold weather. I definitely don't need any more of those either. So if you're like me and easily distracted, do your prep work early. But if you have better willpower than me, then go ahead and do it on the same. So what's a prep day look like? I want you to gather your ideas. Do you have an idea library? If you do, start there. Pull topics that align with what you're promoting right now, because your content and your promotional calendar do need to work together. If you're launching something in 2 months, your content should be warming people up for that now. If you don't have an idea library yet, start one today. Think about your ideal client. what she's struggling with right now, what she's praying for, what solutions can you offer that would genuinely help her move forward. And here's one of my favorite updates to this system. Include your content you've already created in your prep. Podcast episodes, live videos, master classes, those are all your content gold. You don't always need new ideas. Sometimes you just need to repackage what you've already shared in a fresh way. Second, outline your content. This is a bit of a gray area. Some people outline beforehand, some do it the day of the creation, your creation day. I outline beforehand, especially if I'm doing that keyword research. That's when I figure out how to use the phrases my audiences are searching for. If you're new to keyword research, I still love or suggest. It's simple and clear, and it helps you put ideas that match what your audience actually wants to know. I also use keywords everywhere and SEMrush for clients, and that works too. Your outline is your roadmap. It keeps you focused so you don't miss anything important that you have on your schedule. On your creation day, batch and breathe. Now it's time to create. Your job for the day is to simply create, take a break, and repeat. Depending on your main points, this means recording several podcast episodes, writing those blog posts, or recording those videos. Start with your primary platform. That's where your message begins. For me, it's this podcast. For you, it might be a video or a blog post. Once your main content is created, here's what it could look like for you. That podcast episode, now you want to turn it into a blog post. You want to pull out 3 social captions from it and send one of those ideas to your email list. This is exactly where a system can help you build consistency without burning out. And if you're someone who thrives on structure, this is exactly what you can find in my Trello content system. It helps you plan, track, and repurpose your content all in one place so you always know what's next. I'll make sure I put the link to that down below in the show notes. If you feel like you've said it all, let's talk about the moment when you feel like you've covered everything. You've talked about all the big topics and your idea library looks thin and you're starting to think, what else can I possibly say? I've said it all. The truth is, you don't always need to have new ideas. I've touched on this briefly. Sometimes your best next episode is already sitting in your archives. It just needs a little refresh and tender loving care. So when I hit the wall, I don't force myself to create something brand new. I utilize what's already working. Here's what I do. I download a CSV file report from Google Analytics and from my podcast host. That shows me which blog posts and episodes have performed well and which ones have slowed down. Then I upload those reports into ChatGPT, thank you very much, and ask it to help me identify my next 10 episode topics based on what could use an update or expansion. Then from the list of 10, I pick 4. That's such a simple way to use AI strategically, not to replace your creativity, but to help you see opportunities you might have missed. You can do this too. Look for your top performing posts and ask yourself, can this be refreshed for today? Maybe the strategy has evolved, or maybe you've grown into wisdom since you first recorded it, or, like maybe AI came out. Either way, your audience will appreciate the update. This is about more than productivity. Here's what I want you to hear today. Your content creation day isn't just a productivity hack. It's a way to steward the message God gave you. When you batch your content, you free your mental space during the rest of your week. You stop feeling behind. You stop avoiding the things that actually help your business grow. And you start showing up consistently for the people who need what you have to offer. That's obedience, friends. That's faithfulness to your audience. It's not just creating content. You're serving the women God placed in your path for a reason. Start simple. So if you're taking nothing else from this episode, remember, it's time to plan your first real content creation day. Start simple. One platform, one day, one message that matters. You will be amazed how peaceful consistency can feel when you have a plan. And if you want help turning your next batch of content into strategic posts that sound like you, head to Miss Task and check out my easy content repurposing package. You focus on creating, I'll make sure your message keeps working for you, friend. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and thank you for listening all the way to the end of this episode. Oh, shoot, before we go, a quick reminder, I'm running a giveaway through the end of the year. Each month, I'm giving away a free Repurposing podcast package to one listener who leaves me a 5-star review for the show. Just go ahead and take a screenshot of the review, DM it to me on Instagram at Michelle Dewey OBM, and include your message. All the details will be down in the show notes below. Again, thank you so much for listening all the way to the end of the episode, because now I'm actually done. I'm going to hit stop. I hope you have a wonderful week. Yay! Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this episode valuable and learned some actionable tips that you can implement in your business so that you can feel accomplished and less stressed. If you enjoyed this show, please take a quick minute to share this with your business bestie, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps me reach more business owners just like you. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please reach out to me on my website. I've created a form just for you. Remember, with the right system and mindset, you can achieve the success your heart desires. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to chatting with you next time. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget, let's grow, friends.